It's fine. We just thank God that we are in good health. We are alive. We have some small energy to do the work that we have to do.
Okay, sir. Okay, today is another edition, and we're happy to have you live to talk about Cameroon gospel music, or should I say African gospel music or the world. I believe we will learn a lot from you this evening. So
I
before we
I
start, can you lead us the word of prayer before we start, sir?
okay, no problem. Father Lord, thank you for this live session. We thank you for the platform that you give us to empower your people. Thank you because the people listening to this show are going to get something meaningful that can create a positive change in their lives. Thank you for the host and thank you for the platform Gwendy Media and thank you for the participants. Thank you because we are here because we want to take the work that we are doing for our country to another level. And if we were born in that country, in the country Cameroon, it is for a particular reason. So we are using whatever we have to bring forth your word, your music to the extremities of our country and to the world. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. So, sir, let's go straight to the point. Before we start, I want you to introduce yourself in the next 2 minutes for everyone following to know you. And also explain to me what you mean by Afro Dreamer, because this is my first time hearing this. The Afro Dreamer. And I was like,
Okay.
what? So, sir, I would love to know what it stands for and who you are.
Okay. Okay. So firstly, I am my real name's Adrien Nobel Bouguet. Who I am, I define myself as an entrepreneur. Firstly, as a visual artist, uh, and so actually I have so many caps. Okay, I have the cap of the entrepreneur because I have a business in Yaoundé. It's a creative agency. We do photography, we do graphics works, we do videos, we cover events. By the way, we are the ones who cover the wedding of G4. Uh, that's just a by the way.
Wow.
Uh, I'm also a visual artist or a creative person. Uh, so I have skills in graphic works, photography as well. And as I said, I have many caps. So I'm just giving my different caps. I am also very active on social media. I'm also very active on social media. I post about relationships. I post about relationships. I also post about Christian music on social media, particularly Cameroonian Christian music. And as my profession, I am a web
Wow.
developer. So now the Afro Dreamer, I should ask, Afro Dreamer is the name I used because when I started my business and it was going on well, I started my business with my wife. I recently got married to her. So when we started the business, it was small, and but with time we're able to bring it to something that was something bigger than how it started. So people around me started asking me, okay, how did you guys do, and asking me questions and stuff like that. So I created now this name Afro Dreamer to encourage people because I noticed that many people, first of all, they don't have a dream, and second of all, they don't even believe in themselves. So that name came as a way to encourage people in to believe in their dreams. First of all, to have dreams. Secondly, to believe in that dream. Yes, and thirdly, to work hard for that dream because it's possible with God.
Wow, wow, wow. That is awesome. Okay, sir. Talking about our program this evening, we go straight to our program.
Yep.
So what do you think about the topic of today? Is Cameroon gospel music suffering from identity problem? What do you say about in the case where Cameroon gospel artists minister foreign songs in programs? What is your take on it? Because last week I saw your comment and I was so blessed by what you said last week. So that's why we invited you this week to share what you have concerning this topic. So we would like to hear from you. What do you think?
Okay. Okay. Permit me go back a little bit. Because when we talk about identity crisis, okay, first of all, we have identity and we have crisis. So identity. What is your identity? Okay, your identity is just something who we can identify you. I'm having an echo when I talk. I don't know when I talk. I was coming last week.
So that's why we invited.
Let me check that.
Yeah.
I don't know where the echo is coming from. I don't know if you have that echo as well like me.
Network problem, but I'm hearing everything you're saying. I can get you clearly.
Okay, so I'll just keep going. So identity crisis, there's the identity and then there's the crisis. Identity talks about how we can identify you. For example, how do I know that this is Desmond? How do I know that this is G4? How do I know that this is, I can see Akubai is in the comments. How do I know that this is Akubai? Okay. When I see people are talking about artists, when I listen to an artist, how can I know that this is you? That is your identity. And then your identity comes with the person was invited last week to talk about the cultural, the spiritual, the visual, and the artistic. Okay, now I am going to take this a little bit in the business domain. Now, in the business domain, in brands, okay, we have what we call branding. And branding is the way through which we can identify a company. For example, today we can identify Apple as a company that does, I don't know, how can I call it? It's a prestige good, okay? Because they branded themselves as a company that does things that are a little bit of a certain quality level. They do not have so many ranges of products like Samsung. Samsung on the contrary branded itself as a company that has many price ranges. They have the cheaper phones, they have the more expensive phones. But Apple only has expensive phones. So that is the way that Apple brands itself to differentiate itself from other people. So identity, I am bringing us to the business point of view, talking about branding. It's how you brand yourself. Since we are talking about artists, as an artist, how do you differentiate yourself from others? How can I listen to your music even without somebody telling me that this is Desmond? But just by listening, I know that this is Desmond just from the voice, or just from the lyrics, or just from the dance steps. How do you identify yourself? How can I know that this is a song from Pastor Desmond, for example? That is identity. And it also falls in branding. Now, crisis. To talk about the crisis, that simply means that as an artist, you have lost all your references.
I think my brother here is having network challenges. Yeah, we're talking about. Is everything okay?
Yes. Everything is okay.
Right on, sir. We're listening.
Okay. Everything is okay on my side. So now the crisis now comes in when you as an artist, you do not know exactly who you are as an artist. I would like to say that all artists are not the same. All Cameroonian artists are not the same. Artists have different objectives. Not all artists have the same objectives like you. Some artists have objectives to, I don't know, it depends on you as an artist. Different artists have different objectives, which is like their vision, which is like the reason why they are artists. Because they are artists because you just like singing, you want to express your music. You can be an artist because you have a certain mandate. You want to create a certain impact in the life of certain people. So no matter your reason, various artists have various reasons, have various objectives. Now, the crisis is when you as an artist you do not know exactly your objectives as an artist, or maybe you know exactly your objectives as an artist, but you do things that are contrary to the objective that you said to stand for. You do things that are contrary to the objective that you stand for. Okay, you took the example of inviting a certain artist to your program, and he sings other people's songs and not his own songs. As I said, different artists have different objectives. Somebody have different objectives. Okay, are we back?
Yeah.
Pastor Desmond, I think that maybe when I'm talking, you should mute your microphone. Then when you talk, I mute my phone to prevent the echo.
Okay. So this question again. Let me ask you this question before you continue. Okay. I agree with you that we all have our different ways of ministration as artists, and we have our specific line and different ways. Some are rappers, some are Afro dreamer like you, yes, and all the life. So now let me ask you, we're talking like in a case where you are invited as a guest artist in a program. Because to me, I believe if somebody is inviting you as a guest artist in his or her program, it's because of what you have that have inspired that person, and the person want to hear you. So if you're invited as a guest artist, what is expected of you? Let's talk about Cameroon, not Africa, because we can base talk on what we know. So what do you think, and what do you think Cameroonian gospel artists are lacking when it comes to being original, being unique, being you? Are we really doing this? Because I believe I've seen many videos on social media criticizing gospel artists for not ministering Cameroon songs, for singing foreign songs in program. Do you think it is right for gospel artists, a Cameroonian gospel artist, to be singing foreign songs in programs?
Okay, so my take on that is that so as I was saying, Pastor Desmond, if you could mute your microphone while I talk.
Yeah.
So I'm asking if you can mute your mic while I'm talking, because that's what is the question. Okay, I guess. Okay, it's fine. Okay, so my point of view on that is that I started by saying that different artists have different objectives. Okay, so when you call yourself a gospel artist, first of all, I think that the word gospel is useless. When you say gospel artist, I think the word gospel in gospel artist is useless. That is my point of view. I am a Christian, I'm born again. And if I say this, it's not because I'm not a Christian. Why do I say I think it's useless? It's simply because, are you an artist? If yes, then music or gospel music, the way we like to call it, is supposed to be the default type of music. Worldly artists or secular artists do not call themselves secular artists or do not call themselves worldly artists. They just say, I'm an artist. They say, I'm a performing artist. They say, I'm a recording artist. They do not precise that I am a secular artist. So why do we as gospel artists, or I am not an artist, but why do gospel artists see the need to precise gospel artists? Meanwhile, we are supposed to be the head and not the tail. We are supposed to be the reference. Gospel music is supposed to be the norm, the norm as far as music is concerned. That means that when we talk about music, the ideal was supposed to be that when we talk about music, it is by default gospel music, by default. Then the person who is not into the by default music can call himself secular artist or can call himself worldly artist. I am not asking artists to stop calling themselves gospel artists. Neither am I saying that if someone calls you gospel artist, you refuse. But I'm just saying that it is you in your mind, in your head. How do you identify yourself? And also the way you identify yourself will now define your mindset towards the things that you want to do. As an artist, as I said, their artists have different objectives. Not all artists are the same. Not all artists are here, as you see, to do the same thing. Some people have a mandate. Some people just sing because they like, they just like it. They sing by pleasure. They just sing because they want to have fun. It is not a career for some people. It is not something that they want to carry a certain mission or a certain objective with their music. They are singing for fun. So if you invite that type of person who is singing for fun, you should not be surprised that that person sings other people's song, because the person is just having fun. The person doesn't have a mandate. The person doesn't have, or maybe the person might have, but as I said, now the crisis now is because you have a certain objective, but you are doing things that are contrary to the objective that you have. When you are an artist who has a certain objective as an artist, when you are invited on a program, you cannot sing, and most of the songs are not your own songs. That means that you need to calm down and maybe stop calling yourself an artist, because an artist is somebody who creates. Maybe you should stop calling yourself an artist, and as you used the term last week, Pastor Desmond, you can call yourself an interpreter. You must not call yourself an artist if you are unable to create. An artist creates, and an artist creates things from the spirit. So if you cannot create things, maybe you should stop calling yourself an artist. And Pastor Desmond used a word last week that really, I like that word, interpreter. Call yourself en français on dit un interprète. Tu es un interprète, and you are here to interpret people's songs. So that means that your objective in music is to interpret people's songs. That is your objective. As I said, different artists are not the same. Different artists have different objectives. And if your objective in music is to interpret people's songs, that is fine. That is fine, but don't create confusion. Don't because your identity crisis is creating confusion to the whole ecosystem. When you have that crisis in you, you are creating confusion to the whole ecosystem, because people are watching you. They thought that you were an artist. They saw you as an artist. They looked up to you as an artist, and you are behaving like an interpreter. So it's creating confusion all over the place. Stop calling yourself an artist. There is nothing bad in calling yourself an interpreter. There's nothing bad in it. You need to accept it, and you must not force the word artist in you. An artist is somebody who creates. I am a visual artist, as I defined myself at the beginning. I create visual works of art. I create graphics. Okay, I do not go and take somebody's graphics and I put my name on that. I create graphics. I create pictures with our studio in Yaoundé. We create things. Artists create. If you don't create, then call yourself who you are. And that crisis that you have is creating confusion to the whole ecosystem.
So I really like what you say. That was awesome.
Okay, should I keep going? I just stopped because I thought maybe you had another question. That's why I had to stop first and listen to you. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? I'm getting you. I hear you well.
Okay, so I guess I should continue then.
I should continue then.
So now I want to talk about something I hear. Okay, since I'm talking, Pastor,
Okay,
can you mute your mic to prevent the echo? Then when I stop you.
Yeah, I'm seeing how people are. Let me see. Let me read comments.
Okay.
Someone say you're hitting. Okay. Someone say you're hitting some very good point. And someone asks if you're enjoying your union with God. Now let me ask you, from your explanation, it means someone ministering people's song in a program, they are not artists.
Yes, they are not artists.
That is what I get from you. Which
in my opinion, yes,
because
they are not artists.
I believe an artist is someone who have created something that people can see and appreciate or enjoy or feel or touch. That is what they call the person an artist. So, what do you think we should do now? Because I think one of our greatest challenge as gospel artists in Cameroon has been us not loving what we have as music. So what do you think? What can you say to those who don't love Cameroon gospel songs, or for those who keep ministering foreign songs in programs? What can you tell them? What advice can you give to them?
Okay. So it is in two dimensions. Okay, Pastor Desmond, I'll ask you again to mute your microphone while I'm talking. Okay. So
yeah.
I think it is. I think it is in two dimensions. The first dimension is the artist, and the second dimension is the audience, the people who are listening to the song. First of all, we have an ecosystem wherein we should not always blame. Okay, I share it 50% to the artist, 50% to the audience, because the artists themselves, most of them we do not see them publicly listening to Cameroonian gospel music. I said publicly, maybe they listen in their homes, but we do not see them publicly listening to Cameroonian gospel music. Even when you see them putting those statuses where they are driving, you see them putting those statuses where they are, maybe dancing or doing something, or even when they are interpreting songs, when they are maybe singing or ministering, we do not see them publicly listening or singing to other Cameroonian songs. So that means that the first dimension of the artist, they themselves need to check themselves. They need to first of all check themselves, because now the audience looks up to them. First of all, I used to say that I personally, I never know when a record label in our neighboring country will release a music, or maybe the popular artist that you know over there. I don't know when they release. The only moment I know is when I see people putting it on their status. But now, when Cameroonian artists release songs, how many people take time to put it on their status? How many people take time to make their selfie videos where they are driving or dancing or whatsoever with it? How many people take time to create something out of what was released? Are you guys trying to tell me that there is no good Cameroonian song that has been released? I do not think so. So it is in two dimensions. The artists themselves need to support a little bit more their Cameroonian colleagues who are releasing things And by doing so, it encourages their fan base and other people to be doing the same thing who are the audience. Okay, I see a comment that there is a lack of publicity on the songs. And this is why I was saying that there might be a lack of publicity, but there's also a lack of intentionality. Because I said that I personally, I don't know how much time, I don't know how much Easy Concept is making publicities of their, so I do not know. But I have never ever a day on my phone as I'm browsing, I've never seen an advertisement of Easy Concept. I've never been on YouTube, and then when I'm watching video, those ads that come in between, I've never seen an ad of Easy Concept. I've never seen anything on my timeline about Easy Concept. But each time that they release something, how do I know? It's because people have posted on their status. Those people are not Easy Concept. They are people who post on their status. So that means that we need to be intentional too. Not just the artists, first of all, need to be intentional about their public, about sharing stuff. The audience, you and I, in this live stream, we need to be intentional about that. I have created a playlist on Spotify of Cameroonian gospel songs. Each time that a Cameroonian gospel artist releases something on Spotify, I add that song to the playlist. And that playlist has more followers than most individual Cameroonian artists on Spotify. And each time, like recently, I shared that on my Facebook story. My Facebook story that is viewed by more than 300 people. I share it on my WhatsApp story, which is also viewed by more than 300 people. And when I'm making my videos where maybe I'm driving, I make sure that so at least once in a while there should be a Cameroonian. So I'm not saying that I do not also use other songs, but what I'm saying is that in my playlist daily, right now, I can show you people my Spotify right now. My Spotify playlist that I listen to every day, it is a great percentage are Cameroonian songs. And I'm not asking people to stop listening to foreign music, but you need to be intentional about adding Cameroon content in your music, because Pastor Desmond said last week that there are some songs that he listened to the first time, he didn't like it, but because he listened to that same song, he went there, he saw the song, he went there, the song was just everywhere, and at some point he started liking the song. It's the same thing. Most of us do not like Cameroonian music because we are not seeing it everywhere. We are not seeing it everywhere. Look at an artist like Indira, who started way back when we used to criticize Indira for her voice, that she doesn't have a good voice, that it is her parents who are helping her because they have the finances. She had to work on her art, and long story short, right now her song is trending everywhere. Her album of Indira is the #1 most listened album among all artists, whether gospel and secular put together. Her album of 19 songs is the most listened album among whether na gospel or na secular of the first half of 2021, because we are seeing the song, people are putting on their status, and it is everywhere. So with time, you just begin to like the song. So we need to be intentional about our own artists that we are carrying forward.
Yeah, that was a great point. Let me read some comments from people who are following. Someone said, you have a point there. We have to be intentional. Then this man, Senyoki, says, Cameroonians don't support their own. Even if you share most with, I don't know, most will tell you, I don't have data. But you see the same people sharing another country's songs. This is a comment. This is a comment from somebody. He says, the problem with Cameroonians is that Cameroonians don't believe in us. Even when we share our links to them, they will tell us they don't have data. But the same people will be the same people posting about foreign countries, Nigerians, Ghana, Americans. They will be the ones sending their links for us to share. Whereas they can't do same for Cameroon, for Cameroonians. So what do you think? Do you think these people are wicked, or they just hate us? Maybe, or they are ignorant. Let me say so. They might be ignorant.
I think
so
that.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that
we have good music in Cameroon, or Cameroonian gospel artists are not good, or what?
Okay, I think we have so much talent in Cameroon. But now the audience, they like trends. Most people just follow trends. And there is also an identity crisis in the audience. Our audience too, they suffer a lot from identity crisis, not just the artists. Because the audience, most of the time, majority, about 80% of the audience, they are there to follow trends. You guys saw what happened with the Elizabeth Teke trend. How many people who share the Elizabeth Teke trend, how many of them used to listen to Elizabeth Teke songs? How many of them, maybe they knew the song, but how many of them used to listen to the song? How many of them could even dare make a TikTok or do videos how they are listening? How many of them could dare do that? I will tell you, they used to see Elizabeth Teke's songs as some of, I don't want to give a certain negative name, but they used to just put it on the side like that. But when she started trending, even the people who used to put her songs on the side, they picked up the song, they were making TikToks, they were making videos, they were listening to it, they were making selfie videos and Snapchat videos with the song. Because of the trend, they are following trends. Now, it is true that the audience is suffering from identity crisis too, and it is difficult to solve the identity crisis of the vast audience. It is easier to solve the identity crisis of the artist because we have fewer artists. So what I would suggest artists to do, it is to use that in their advantage, any way possible that they can, to make a trend out of their music. They should use it and make a trend, because the audience will just follow, because they are there to follow trends. So if you can, by any way, that's where you use also your creativity, people in your team, they I don't know, maybe collaborations with some comedians or however you guys can. If you can have a way to also make a trend, because once you make that trend, people like to follow trends, and you are going to play their game with their rules. So you can play their game with their rules, and you can eventually win them. But if you just stand in your corner and say, no, they do this, that's how the audience is. They also have that identity crisis. They do not love things that come from their country. Okay, you cannot solve the problem of 20 million Cameroonians who do not love things from Cameroon. You can just play the game with their rules, and you might eventually win them as an artist. Okay, so what do I propose as the best way to make a song trend?
Okay. Okay, let me read some comments. Someone says,
okay.
So how do we get to know that there are new songs? This one question. Another man says, Cameroonians want you to pay them before they can share. So what is your take on this? Now let me read all the comments, some of the comments. You want to say, wow, that is amusing. What do you propose as the best way to make a song trend?
Okay, so I'm going to talk as an entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur who started
very important. How to make a song trend?
Okay, so I'm going to talk as an entrepreneur who started a business, and even when the business was not big, people used to think that the business was big when it was not even yet big. So I just had to play a game in the minds of people. So how can you make a song trend? The first thing that you need to do is to have your song on Spotify. That's number one. Why do I say Spotify? Because Spotify is connected to Instagram, is connected to Facebook, connected to TikTok, connected to Snapchat. That means that people can be on TikTok and they want to make a TikTok video, and they will search for your song and they will use your song on their TikTok videos directly. And each time that the TikTok video is being viewed, or each time that people remake TikToks with your song on the background, because TikTok works in a way that is different from Facebook and Instagram. And I advise many artists to leverage from TikTok, because TikTok has a way in which that when you are watching a TikTok video that has a song in the background, credits or views or streams go straight to that song. It goes straight to that. So that is something that TikTok has that Instagram, Facebook, and other apps don't have. The views counts and the streams go straight to the Spotify of that song. So if your song is not on Spotify, you're already missing a lot on that trend. Firstly, put your song on Spotify. Secondly, you need to partner. You need to work with a comedian. You need to work with a comedian that is funny. You have, this is just a proposal, okay? You have free will on so many comedians who can make something funny out of your song. That might even be a benediction song, but a creative comedian can make something funny, because, you know, for something to trend, emotions need to be implicated. And the most common emotions we have fear, we have laughter, we have fear, laughter, sadness. So since you do not want to use fear or sadness simply because those emotions are not what you want to carry as a Christian, you can use laughter as a very good emotion that can capture people, because the Elizabeth Teke trend, it came in, they used the laughter emotion. The first person who did that TikTok, it was funny. So one way is to partner with a comedian. Another way is to create a concept from the song. What do I mean by create a concept? Okay, let's say, for example, you have a song that talks about, I don't know, Jesus gave me my daily bread. Okay, you can have like a hashtag, or you can have like a certain concept with maybe the hashtag I don't get my bread, something of that sort. You take a picture of the bread, like you saw the fufu trend. The fufu trend, there was a concept behind the fufu trend. Okay, it was people were taking videos how they are eating fufu with different things. Okay, fufu to go with all things. You can have it, maybe your song talks about my daily bread, maybe in the chorus somewhere. Your trend could be, or your concept could be, I don't get my bread, something like that. So, and then you snap the bread, or maybe you put bread and maybe chocolate, or you mix some mixtures, you snap it and you put on your status with the hashtag I don't get my bread, or whatever hashtag with the concept that you have chosen. And then you need to mobilize some people. You need to mobilize some people who are going to share them. Don't expect people to share automatically. That's the error we make. We are expecting that, okay, as I will post, they will share automatically. No. Because remember that people follow trends. So you need to set that trend. You need to create that trend for them to follow. So for you to create that trend, you need to mobilize people. You need a fan club. You need a fan base. You need a team. Okay, if your artist name is Afro Dreamer, you need a team Afro Dreamer that you can have in a WhatsApp group. And once you have posted that thing, there should be at least 50 of them. Mobilize 50 people, please, artists. Mobilize 50 people. Put them in their group. When the concept is ready, they go and they share. They make screenshots. They do the same things. Something of that sort. Then people now be wondering, okay, we are seeing bread everywhere. Bread. And then people say, I don't get my bread. It's everywhere. They will now also start screenshotting and putting, because people they are following the trend. So, but you need to set the initial trend. And even on every social media app, because as an entrepreneur, since I'm not in Cameroon right now, so mostly my work on the business is mostly social media work. So almost every social media application has an algorithm. And the way the algorithm works is that the algorithm needs an initial push. That is why you do some posts. Some posts have so many likes, other posts do not have many likes. And I know the reason for that, because I've studied that. And the reason is that the post has many likes. Most of the likes come at the beginning of the post. If you make a post and 2 hours later it's not behaving well, then the chances of that post behaving well are very low. But when you make a post, it has to behave well instantly. And once it starts behaving well, the likes are coming up, that's when now the algorithm of that Facebook or that Instagram or that whatsoever will push your post for you. Sometimes Facebook helps push people's posts. Have you ever been on Facebook and you see the post of a page that you don't even follow? You don't follow the page, but you are scrolling, Facebook shows you the post of that page. Simply because Facebook pushes posts that are creating some engagement. So you need to force that engagement yourself with your team. That is the step 3. And once you have created that, you need to be consistent with it. Do not make if it is on my case study, maybe it's the bread, I don't get my bread, and you're posting, you posted today and you are done. No, you should be consistent about it. You post today, you post tomorrow, you saturate, you post. The more they will see, at the beginning they will not like it, but with time they will like it. And that is how you have created, and that's how you have created a trend.
You're making a lot of sense. That's good. That's a great point there.
I'm seeing some questions here. Okay, I would like to react to these comments. Our songs are not trending because of lack of originality or identity. We hear foreign music, we envy the culture, and we want to copy and result not up to the task lyrically, vocally, and instrumental too. So our audience are professional. They know good music. Once they listen to something that does not make sense, next time you share your link. Okay, I want to disagree with this comment a little bit, not much. I'll disagree with the comment a little bit because the only thing that makes a trendy song or a successful song or a successful artist even is not only the quality of the content. Quality of the content accounts for a certain percentage, but it is not just about the quality of the content. If it was only about the quality of the content, then people like Nyangono Jisu, Grand Barak, whoever you can name it, will not be trending the way they trended at that particular point in time. So quality of the music is not the only thing. That's why so many people release very quality music that ends on YouTube and have a couple of views only on YouTube, and that is it. They only have a couple of views on YouTube. So the quality of the music is an important point, very important, but it is not the only thing that is needed. Some intentionality is needed from both the artist and the audience. So I've listened to great quality Cameroonian music, and trust me, I some of them today I don't know what has happened of them. Meanwhile, they were of good quality. Okay, but today some of them I don't know how far they are. So the quality of the music is very important, but it is not the only thing. Now, talking about branding, okay, I have written an article. No, that's a different one. So, talking about branding of an artist, first of all, you the artist, who are you? Or you let me say you the person. Who are you? Are you an artist? Are you a minister? Are you an evangelist? Okay. Who are you first of all? You need to know who you are. Are you an artist? Are you all of them? Now, there's the problem with people who are all of them that I'll maybe come into it after. But you need to be able to identify yourself. I will first of all go with the person who identifies himself as an artist. For the minister part or the evangelist part, maybe it's another time. Well, if you identify yourself as an artist, you need to know that an artist is an entrepreneur. That's something you need to know. Is that an artist?
Okay.
A brand?
I think someone have a different view of what you just put now.
Okay.
Yeah, because from the comment he said, our songs are not trending because of lack of originality. That is my H1 brother, Lois Bumlo. He said, our songs are not trending because of lack of originality or identity. We hear foreign music, we envy the culture, and we want to copy and the end result, not up to the task, lyrically, vocally, and instrumental too. So our audience are professional. They know good music. Once they listen to something that does not make sense,
Hello.
a foreign link for you rather than sharing our links.
Okay. So what I was saying about that is that producing music that is of good quality is a very important point, but it is not the only point needed. It's very important, but it's not the only point needed. That's why so many artists they invest in producing a great music, and they do not invest in marketing that music. So the very nice and great music will end somewhere with a couple of views on YouTube. Now, when the person says that when the song is nice, people share it. Okay, the number of shares that you will have from the people who liked it and shared is not comparable to the number of shares you will have when your song is trending. It's not comparable. That means that maybe it could be fine for you that you identify yourself as a niche artist. Okay, that means that you are not the everyday. That means that you are not an artist for everybody. You are a niche artist. You are an artist who has chosen a particular niche. You are singing only for knowledgeable people who know about music. It is fine. You can choose to identify yourself as a niche artist. It is very fine. That's why even in music there are genres of music. Okay, there is classical music. Not everybody will listen to classical music. For some people it is boring. Now if you do classical music, your classical music will only be for people who listen to classical music. It cannot be for everybody. So you can choose to identify yourself as a niche artist, which is totally fine. It's okay. But if you want, as we are talking about that massive trend, or we are talking about that, okay, as Chris said, maybe we should use the word impact, but trend, okay. If you want talking about that massive impact, then the quality of your music is not the only thing that you need. You need to invest. If you invested 60% of your finances to produce the song, you should invest 40% of your finances to market that song. That means that if your total budget for your project is 1 million francs CFA, and if you put 600,000 into making the sound and the video and the finished product, you should put 400. If you put 600,000 in that, you should put 400,000 in marketing. If you don't do that, then you are a niche artist. You are singing for a particular group of people who only know what they are listening to, and it is totally fine.
Okay. One person, Precious says, very brilliant. Now, Wendy, when Doreen is asking you, can you do a workshop on simple branding and marketing tips for artists or small business?
I can definitely
It's a question.
Yes, I already have people on one-on-one. I do not do it on a platform, but one-on-one. Some people inbox me because they maybe need marketing assistance or entrepreneurship assistance. I give them the tips I can give them. I already do that on a one-on-one basis. But if you are talking about like a workshop, maybe a platform, then okay, if someone organizes something, I could be invited, or myself, I could organize. Maybe I will look into that.
Okay. Okay, now let me read some few comments. Lois Bumlo say, any song you receive need work. Think about your environment. That when we receive any song, we need to think about those we will communicate the song to. We need to think about our audience. Now, he asks you, because I think the question is directed to you. He says, are we talking about gospel music or music in general? This is the question he asked. And now he went further by saying, you can receive a gift of a song, but don't know how to communicate it to your audience. I mean, this might have been one of our problems, because receiving the gift is one thing, and knowing how to pass the gifts to audience is another. Now, when the say that is true, people criticize her some years back. She is now consistent. I mean, consistency pays. Now, let me read some few comments. So, how do we get to know that there are new songs? Cameroon, this one always say. Now, talking to this. So, what do you think? Are we talking about gospel music or music in general?
Okay, so
That is what
Pastor
somebody is
Lemo,
asking you.
yes, at the beginning I said that I think this is my thought. I think that the word gospel in gospel artist is useless. And I am a born again Christian. And for me as a born again Christian to say that, it is not because I don't understand Christianity. Okay? I think that
Yeah.
the word gospel in gospel music is useless. Why? Because as Christians, we are supposed to be the head and not the tail. Gospel music is supposed, or gospel in quotes music is supposed to be the norm as far as music is concerned. So when we talk about music, the norm had to be gospel in quotes music. Because when the angels are singing music to God, they are not precising that I am singing gospel music to God. And we do not see the secular artists say that I am a secular artist, I am a worldly artist. They say I am an artist, full stop. That means that we as gospel artists, or I am not an artist, but the gospel artists have accepted the fact that the secular artists are the mainstream or are the norm, then they are the niche. They are the gospel artists. They are the niche kind of people. But it is a problem. I am not asking people to stop calling themselves gospel artists or to refuse that name, but have the mindset that gospel in quotes music is supposed to be the norm as far as music is concerned. So, of course, we are talking about gospel in quotes music. It's not because I didn't use the word gospel. As a Christian, everything that I do as a Christian, the Bible says that let your actions be like a service unto God. So everything that you do is as a service unto God. Even if I'm drinking water today, I'm not obliged to precise that this is gospel water. Everything I do as a Christian is already in quote gospel. So if I am not going to stop calling people gospel artists. I will still call them gospel artists, but I want people to have that mindset that gospel in quote music is supposed to be the norm as far as music is concerned. The secular guys are the ones who are supposed to precise that no, I am a secular artist. They are the ones to precise. But it is fine. We are not yet there. But as we are working towards that, let's keep that consciousness in mind. Of course, we are talking about gospel music here.
Okay, now that is awesome. I agree with you here. Now I'm seeing some few comments. Someone say, do you have some concrete ideas on how this artist can proceed? There is another question. Now, there is a request. When the media says, wow, we hope you can come back next week for an in-depth on what artists should do in order to make their songs trend and also promote it the right way. Hope you can come back next week. That's what a request from somebody.
next week, Monday, I think it will be my pleasure.
So you're giving them your word.
We talk inbox. I don't yet know how my Monday, but we talk. Definitely, I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be back next week. We'll talk. Yeah.
Okay. Now, what do you say? Do you have an in-depth? Do you have some concrete ideas on how this artist can proceed?
I think that she asked this question a bit before now. That was before I was explaining, giving some like my ideas how they can make a song to trend by taking the example of the bread. Okay, I don't get my bread. That idea. She asked that question before I gave that idea. So I think that idea already answers that as a possible option. There are many ways, but maybe this time frame might be short for us to expatiate everything. Maybe the time frame might be short to explain everything, but that's a bit the idea of how you can possibly leverage that.
Wow.
Okay, so this comment keeps coming
Let me
up. You can
see.
receive a gift of a song, but do not know how to communicate to your audience. Okay, that's why the Bible says that one shall chase 1,000, but two shall chase 10,000. Okay, and the Bible also says that in the multitude of counsel there is safety, which tells us that if you as an individual, you have the idea of the song, but you cannot
Yeah.
communicate it, you need to find people who can help you communicate that, instead of expecting that people will automatically share. Okay, you need to find some professionals who can help you communicate, because if to produce the song, you have to go and find professionals to produce your song. You have to buy professional microphones, you have to buy professional this and that to produce the song. So to communicate on the song, you also need to seek professionals who can help you, because definitely iron sharpen irons. There are so many scriptures that talks about how you can find help in someone else. Multitude of counsel, there is safety. Okay, one chase 1,000, two doesn't chase 2,000, two chase 10,000.
Wow. This man says, wonder why Joe, I think this should be Akubai. She said, I agree with you. Gospel is our obvious message.
Yes, it's our
Yes.
obvious message. We need to work
Senyoki
in that
says,
consciousness.
Senyoki says, thank you guys for the topic. Wendia Media TV said, that will be amazing. We are so glad to connect and know more about you. We really need concrete ways to improve our gospel music industry. Now, Senyoki says, it is time for Cameroon gospel songs to be heard everywhere in the world because Cameroon has so much gift. That is true, sir. Cameroon is blessed with talent. Cameroon got what it
Yes,
takes to be international, to be known worldwide. But they think
yes,
the problem is lack of strategy, which that is what we are trying to bring out. That's why we are trying to see if we can have a solution. So if you have any solution, if you're following and you have any solution, provide your comment. That's why I'm reading all the comments so that everybody should hear your contribution. I think somebody does not agree with what everything we are saying. Say no, 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 sir. We would love to know why you say no, Mr. Lois Bumlo. You say no, 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 no. So why are you saying no? Can we know your idea, your reason why you disagree? Here, I believe nobody has a monopoly of knowledge. Here we share to grow. So what do you think? Your comment, I will read your comment for everybody. So, sir, it says that would be amazing to have you next time. So what do you
yeah.
have to tell the people following?
Okay, I
Like the
was
last
saying
one,
some,
we are about to end the show.
yeah. So to end the show, then quickly, maybe we'll expatiate on this one next time. Um, to conclude, I'll reiterate a few things that I said. One of the things I said, different artists have different objectives. All artists are not there for the same things. Pastor Desmond might not have the same objectives as G4, might not have the same objectives as Maureen Forba, might not have the same objectives as Akubai. So the audience, first of all, should also understand that artists have different mandates, different objectives. They are not all there to do the same things. The artists themselves need to understand that. Next thing is the artists need to know exactly what are their objectives. Okay, and then they should not do things that are contrary to their objective, because by doing so they are confusing the whole ecosystem. If you call yourself an artist and you are invited to a show, and 90% of the songs you sing are not your songs, then you are not an artist. You should change that name and call yourself an interpreter. It is not bad to call yourself an interpreter. It is not bad. It's not the end of the world. It is okay to call yourself an interpreter. If you are an artist creates. What does an artist do? An artist creates. An artist creates things from the spirit.
So in a nutshell, an artist is someone that has the ability to create, right?
Yes, the ability to create.
Wow.
So as I was saying, once as an artist, you know your objective. You should not do things contrary. So if you call yourself, you identify, since you're talking about identity crisis, if you identify yourself as an artist, you should work like an artist and do things that artists do, and not the contrary. And also, to conclude on this one, sometimes artists themselves complain that they are not treated well, that they are invited to shows, they do not receive some per diem, they are not taken care of when they are being invited to. Okay, as an artist, you should know that there are some things that you do that lower your price tag. There are some things as an artist that when you do them, it lowers your price tags. So if you are doing things that are contrary to your objectives as an artist, do not be scared that those things, the implications of those things are that they will lower your price tag. They will lower your value, your market value. Okay, so because there are some artists that people cannot invite. Once they even think about their names, they already know that I should take care of this artist this way, because of the way the artist branded himself and because of the identity of the artist. So since we are short of time, I think I can end here.
Okay.
I hope maybe we have another opportunity to share.
Someone says that it is lack of concrete strategies. That some of these things are like as a result of lack of concrete strategies. Now, and Wendy Media says, on this channel, we share to grow. I mean, here we share what we think is true, because nobody knows it all. We all here are learning, including you and I. So we all here, it is ever learning. So, and Wendy Media says, we will also like to know you, or to know how we can connect with you on social media. So how can these people following you connect with you on social media? How can they get your songs?
Okay, I'm not an artist, though, Pastor Desmond.
You're not an artist.
Yes, I am an entrepreneur. I have a blog, Gospel People blog. I didn't even mention that. I have so many caps, but not artist. I'm also a social media marketing expert. So if you need tips on social media marketing, on how to create social media campaigns, how to create trends too, I can give you some ideas. So I don't know. I am texting the name of my profile in the chat since they're asking how to connect with me. So the first one is my profile. The second one is my page. My page is the Afro Dreamer. It's true I didn't post a lot these days on my personal page. I post more on my profile. So you can send me a friend request because I post more on my profile these days for some reasons. So my profile, Adrien Nobel Mbuge, you can send me a friend request. I don't know. Do they also need WhatsApp? If you send your friend request and you send me a private message, we can always talk. and I could give you my website. Yeah.
Wow. That was awesome. That was awesome. Okay, this is the Facebook name, Anjan Nobel Boge. That is awesome. So now, can you give a shout out to my brother G4? Today was a very busy day for him. It was not live today because of work. The man got a lot on his table today, so he couldn't meet up with today's program. But he promised to be there next Monday, live and direct. So can you give a shout out to him?
Okay.
And are you married?
Yes, as I said, I got married in December. Got married in December. To my business partner. I got married to my business partner. So we started the business together, and we have so many more businesses to start together.
Wow. Oh, Mr. Lloyd says, this topic needs a lot of explanation. He said he has a lot to say, but no time. I think our next program will also have him as a guest because he has a lot to say.
What I suggest is that I think that you can have both of us because he seemed to be disagreeing with me. Maybe we could have an exchange.
Yeah, from the way he's saying, he has a lot to tell us.
It could be a nice experience to exchange.
Wow.
Okay,
wow.
so you're asking me to give a shout out to my team. And to my wife as well. So I'm giving by the way, the company is called Danteta. It's a creative agency. We do in visuals, graphics works, photography. We cover events. We cover the wedding of G4 and so many other people that you guys might know. We cover concerts. Yeah, we cover the wedding of G4. And so many.
So it's your team.
Yeah.
So you pay me for this publicity.
And
you have to pay Wendy Media for this publicity, I swear. So your team, those beautiful team is your team, man.
Yeah, yeah. And also, I think Ashek Blessing, she does her photo shoots with us. Most of her photo shoots of Ashek are
Wendy Media is asking for the name of your company. The name of your company.
Okay, let me type it in
and
the.
She said she would like to collaborate with you and your team to grow the industry because she believes your team is a plus to Wendy Media TV. So what do you think? Would you also love to collaborate with Wendy Media TV's team to grow the music industry?
Yes, I've been following Wendy Media for some time now.
Yeah,
I think she has. Yeah, I think they have some trainings that they also organize on how to monetize your skills or your gifts. I think.
Yeah.
I follow the live stream sometimes. So yeah. Pastor Desmond, look at these comments.
I mean, forget about these people. These people, I know this man will not leave me in peace.
Okay,
you
can always call us. We are going to cover.
I'm telling you, that one is free. For the publicity we did today, you will do that one for me for free.
Okay, no problem. We are going to start with the pre-wedding shots. We are going to do the pre-wedding shots first.
Okay, Wendy Media said they also do free training.
Yeah, I think
training for the community.
I saw that on their page. Yes.
Yeah. How can people on a live program be asking me about wedding? Concentrate on the topic. So where are you based? Are you based in Cameroon or in South Africa or in America?
Currently, I am in the US. I am in North Carolina.
Okay, you're based in the US.
Yes. So I like to say something because I used to have an afro. For those who know me, I just shaved my afro, and
I was surprised to see you like this.
Yes, I used to have an afro, and that afro amazingly was part of my was part of how people could easily recognize me. So just to say that as an artist too, your branding or your identity could be found even in your appearance. That means that they can just see the way you are, or they can easily know, okay, this type of outfit can only be worn by this type of artist, and it all falls under branding and other identity.
Okay, when the media is telling you they are also based in USA, so it's very easy for you guys to work together. Say,
wow, okay.
They're based in US too.
Wow, I don't know if I should send my
When the
contact to
media
have this
TV is
talk.
a US-based TV station.
Wow, okay, that'd be great.
Wow.
That'd be great.
So I hope after this you have a lot to do.
Definitely, definitely. We
I
have
mean,
a lot
you're
to do.
officially a partner. You're officially a partner of this program.
Yeah, we have a lot to do. We have a lot to do.
Yeah. Wow. No, happy meeting people like you, sir. Happy meeting people like you. It was a great privilege sharing here today. You really blessed me. I learned a lot of things today from you. And I believe next week, as you promised, I will learn more. And I pray we have Pastor Lois, because he has a lot to tell us. Maybe next week, by God's grace, we might have him live so that he can explain it. You know, writing is limited. You can't write everything you have to say. So I believe next week we'll have two of you.
Okay, that'd be nice.
Yeah. Thank you. And I believe everybody was blessed. We thank God for your presence here. The Afro Dreamer, today's show was great, simple, fantastic. The Wendy Majors team is grateful, sir. We love you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hello, madam. They are teams,
Okay.
they don't get free support from, they will support me for free from day now.
No problem, no problem. I think I already have your contact. So that day you just text me and then we organize something.
And Wendy Major will rent me hall and sound for free.
Okay.
Okay, this is your link. Wow, Spotify playlist. Please, everybody should check the comment section. You see Anjan Nobel. You see everything about him in the comment section. Wow, this is awesome.